Prime Minister Morgan Tsvangirai is challenging President Robert Mugabe for the top job for a third time. Mr. Mugabe says he'll step down if he loses after 33 years in power. He's 89. His party, ZANU-PF, has denied accusations that it's doctored the voters' roll.
The choice is between President Robert Mugabe and Prime Minister Morgan Tsvangirai. The pair have been in an uneasy unity government since the last vote, when 200 people died in post-election violence 5 years ago. Now, though, 89-year-old Mugabe is one of the world's oldest heads of state, a point his rival is keen to point out.
Now, Wednesday's vote in Zimbabwe's first presidential election in more than 5 years. It's been an unstable time for the country, both politically and economically. In 2008, the MDC's Morgan Tsvangirai won the first round, but withdrew before the second, citing violence against his supporters. Robert Mugabe was sworn back into office. The following year, the economy went into freefall. Zimbabwe's inflation rate hit 231 million%. And by January, the Zimbabwean dollar was worthless and foreign currency was adopted. Then in February 2009, a power-sharing agreement came into play and Tsvangirai was sworn in as Prime Minister. 5 months later, the IMF restarted its financial assistance, giving Zimbabwe $400 million in aid. And in March of this year, we saw a new constitution approved by Zimbabweans in a referendum, paving the way for, of course, today's election.
There are serious concerns about the credibility of this election. Human rights groups say the voters' roll is in a shambles. There are thousands of names of people who are dead, people who have left the country, people who are over 100 years old. Of course, these concerns being raised because the fear is these mistakes will be used to rig this election. But there have been concerns for many, many months now. In fact, the Southern African regional body, SADC, tried to force Mugabe to postpone this election.
Thank you.
We've been invited into Robert Mugabe's home, the presidential mansion he might soon have to vacate. And on the eve of elections, a promise that the vote will be free and fair.
There are fears internationally, not only about violence, but frequently about vote rigging as well.
That's a foreign word, rigging, here. We have never, ever rigged the election. This is not the first time we are voting. We started in 1980, 1985. Every 5 years we have done elections.
And elections have never been rigged in Zimbabwe?
Never, ever.
Although Tsvangirai's movement for democratic change has accused Mugabe's ZANU-PF of doctoring the electoral roll, the two men have managed to work together within the unity government which ended the 2008 standoff.
Our freedom will never be complete until we throw away the shackles of bitterness. After all, this is done. I want President Mugabe to enjoy his retirement in peace and comfort of his homeland.
It's not clear if Tsvangirai will finally manage to unseat Mugabe, but with some viewing the latter as an African dictator, the outcome could be vital for an economy beset by Western sanctions.